Hello, what is going on, guys? I just need to see if the mic is working on my YouTube. Okay. Hope you all are having a good day. Okay, let us start. So, yesterday I think we finished where all the pointers topics we had uh, gone through the mutual structs part, where you can, just define a struct using a syntax like this, a forward declaration, and it also has kind of a reference to another struct, a circular reference, something like this, where computer T can have can reference to another struct of computer, sorry, uh, computer, computer T. This is actually based on this computer, and it's basically, if we're giving it computer T over here, it means that it will be kind of a reference to a struct to a computer. So we were moving on towards enums, and yeah, what were it? Enumerations with enum keyword. These two guys are trying to diss each other over here. Not exactly this, but obviously it's a good humor to have in the course. It's up the mood. Okay. Unlike Golang, a language living in 1970, C has explicit support for enums, enumerations with the enum keyword. TJ is salty because Go is simple modern language that companies actually use to ship products. Not all programming languages can be academic thought experiments like OCaml, right? You can define a new enum type like this, okay? Optional, but like with struct, they can make the enum. You can use the enum type. Enum is not a collection type. Okay, this is okay. Want to enumerate something when using the underlying constant value? Don't you want to set those enumerations to specific values? For example, you might want to define a program's exit status code. Hmm. Alternatively, you can define the first value and let the compiler fill in the rest, incrementing by 1. Follow value red is equals to 55. Problem is I cannot edit any more in this. I was able to edit and submit the code also, but for some reason I think I may have just overused it to the limit because I'm on a still on a free trial. So, but no issues. We'll have our own file over here which is going to let us test this out. 55, 176, 38, and if we come into our main function, we're just going to comment this out. Words per minute, color. So one of the ways is that it can be used with switch enums to avoid magic numbers. Use descript with modern tooling will give you all cases. Here's an example. Have a break after each case. Hmm. Need to have so it should have a case statement over here, switch log level. switch code, something like this. Is 'So' should return a hard-coded string with the human-readable version of HTTP status code. Um, Return, going to have it return four oh four not found. Can you wait? I'm handling all of those, bro. Don't worry about it. Okay, so it's saying that not all four of the values are being handled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5. HTTP bad request, and I have HTTP internal server error, HTTP unauthorized. Teapot is also there. And now it's going to say not handled in switch. Okay. रुको जरा सबर करो. अच्छा जी. 400 bad request not found. 401 authorized. 400 bad request. uh yeah, internal server error. Actually this has I'm just trying to get it completely right. TPT pot 418. I am a 401 401 unauthorized. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have this handled. Now if I, sorry, going to have it over here. If I'm going to run this function and give it something like HTTP not found, should return me CCC main.c, sorry, best def. I can print this. Status. 404 not found. 401 unauthorized. But if I'm going to. Great. So this seems to be working for us. We just move forward with this on the same size of operator that we've talked about works on enums. Generally, enums in C are the same size as an int. However, if an enum value exceeds the range of an int, the C compiler will use larger int type to accommodate the value such as unsigned int or a long. Okay. Doesn't represent negative, it can represent large positive numbers. Integer type then int, so it can represent all 0, medium 1, large 2, extra large 3. Yoko probably cares a lot about which size of. Hmm, sorry. Think mm, I do this. Data argument not found. Okay. Forgotten. I think no. Sorry. I can have it appended like this. 8 bytes, 4 bytes. Right. Moving on. Combination of the two kind of unit data. Enough oat milk in the office kitchen. This feature is one that even Golang doesn't have, probably because they were worried about getting fired from Google. Nice. Unions in C can hold one of several types. Actually, the Golang concept is the Golang whole syntax is very similar to C. It literally replicates a lot of the way the C is built and how C actually works, like using structs. Like for example, if we let's say if I have something like web crawler go and we have so it's very similar to C. If you can see the struct definition, it's similar the whole style of coding. I'm getting to understand this because now I'm learning the syntax of C, so it's very similar, very similar. Okay, so back to where we were. C can hold one of several types. They're like less critical some type from the world of functional programming. Here's an example: union. No, I have not been sitting on a smart business idea. I'm actually, I don't know what to say. Age or name type can hold either an int or a car, but not both at the same. Okay, so if this is a union, age or name can either have an integer as the age or a character as a name only. They cannot coexist. That would actually become a struct. Age or name t-lane. Okay. Field even though we set the age field and nothing to do, we get under the largest type and then all the take a look at this next struct and accident data. straight away our LSP gives us an error, that unknown type name, and we have to create this type. So in order to create this type, we'll have to define an enum. Fine. Type f. It's an enum that can be an integer or a string. Integer or a string. Integer. The prob in here is equal. Now the error is gone. We have defined the enum. With the format object function in exercise.c format object function that uses switch on the dot kind of a snag object t, okay, and writes formatted string to the for replacing n with that object. Uh, for an integer, write n to the buffer, replacing n with the integer value. Sorry, peeps, had to go somewhere. Okay, we're back. So, Vestronic has just commented. Hi, Vestronic, how are you? The programmers themselves probably don't consider C to be the greatest ever. Yes, that was supposed to be my title is supposed to be re- kind of a sarcastic one also. Use the flag, head and okay. So like this. See, okay. Do not allow extra outside of function. Nice out. 48. Ah, this is the part that it's kind of crashing. I have not completed this particular case. So the test case has a buffer of character 100 and they're actually initializing an integer with the function they already have. Okay, data we then they're formatting it. Subject function going to be hours this case and they're sending a buffer to. Yes, I have the LSP configured in my new. I think I've used null ls or no, not sure exactly remember, but something like null LSP, I don't know. nvim lsp config. I think this is the one. Yes, elang d. sprintf. Hmm. So I need to find. I will also be sending a buffer over here. Format object. Need to do sprintf and write the buffer. We'll have buffer over here. And with the integer value, which is going to be which case if enumeration value string not handled in case, okay, I'm going to add s data dot string. I think this is it. For an integer, write int n to the buffer, replacing n with the integer value. For a string, write string str. Okay, string replacing str with the string value. Yep. I'm using the free version for YouTube to play music. This it has ran for the third time right now. YTDLP. YT. I can consider this. That's nice. I will be actually exploring more options into this, and I think yes, I'm also using Arch. So FZF and MPV. That's a nice combination. Hmm. I think you would use FZF to parse through the file, search through the files, and then MPV to run the file itself, right? Good option, I think. Yes, nice. Okay, I think we can move forward with this part. Unions store their value in the same memory location no matter which field or type is actively being used. That means that accessing any field apart from the one you set is generally a bad idea. Hmm. Hmm. Which is a constant representing the largest possible unsigned integer. No, I don't think I have that. What is that? I don't know. I think I have heard it somewhere. You block origin. No, no ad blockers. I just don't trust ad blockers. I don't know. I feel like they somehow just track a lot of your activity. You block origin. Hmm. Can try. What do you work with? Wait. Do you stream? I mean, do you stream? So, you're a programming. What languages? Okay. What language do you work with? Nice. So, professionally, are you pursuing C professionally? Okay, you're still in uni. Nice. No problem. You'll get to it. It's not a really fancy word of the job, but it is what it is. That the size of the union is the size of the largest field in the union. Take this example, type definition union int or error message in data character that the size of the unit, the size of the largest. Yeah, definitely. It's just a certification is just some kind of, formality that may or may not help you in the future. But the real thing is that you should know how to research into things, how to learn to program by yourself. I think that is the main goal. Not use AI, without using AI. Definitely without using AI. Program encounters when a run it's incredibly inefficient because it allocates to bytes for every end that it's to an array of 1000. Yes, I'm just trying to read this also that if, for example, we set a union, so it will be set to its this particular size. If we have this 256 over here, and every time we set an int, 99% of the time it's going to be setting an int, it's going to allocate 256 bytes. Array of int would have only taken 4000 bytes. Imagine an array of 1000 error objects. Even if one of them makes use of dot error field, the array will take up to, would have only taken the following: size of int 4, size of int carbon, size of ligand, sensor data, codes, not errors. I can't. Okay, have to move forward. In array of, I think census data, the maximum going to be 4. Helper fields. One interesting, albeit not commonly used trick is to use unions to create helpers for accessing different parts of it. Consider the following type: color, struct, or like this. RG. And the fragility of C. It supported networking. Complete the packet errors. You need to have two potential errors. Okay. we have a struct in here with the values src port. First two bytes are the src port, the two bytes are destination for the last port. Mhm. There, array of 8 bytes. Idea due to portability. I'm actually trying to understand exactly helper fields. I think this is something that they have labeled. So portability. So it says over here the first two bytes are the SRC port, the next two bytes are the destination port, the last four bytes are the sequential number, I think. Draw an array of 8 bytes. Use unint 8t, unint 16t. Remember 8 bits, 1 byte. Okay. So we 2 to 16, 16, and this is going to be 32. Unint an array of 8 bytes. 8-bit unsigned int, yes. 8 bits, 1 byte, and we have to create these particular fields with 2 bytes, which means 8 into 2 is equal to, sorry, yes, 2 bytes would be 16 bits, 4 bytes would be 32 bits, right? An array of 8 bytes. A raw forgot how an array of 8 bytes. I don't know. I think unint 80, unint 16, sorry, unint uh, actually forgot the syntax of. I think we need something like raw unint. Oh, an array of what exactly? Is this supposed to be right? I think we're going to see it bytes. Yes, I I actually forgot the alignment requirements also. For struct, I think the compiler has to allocate some more memory for alignment and padding. Yes, you're correct. Yeah. TCP header. I wonder if the name TCP header is even valid without having a type def. I don't see my LSP doesn't give me any error. I go like this. Yes, is no error. If we just going to, we can do one thing to check this out. Printf size of the struct. I think the reduce size of packet header B. Yeah, to work TCP underscore header. I don't think it's a reserved keyword. I think TCP, like if I'm going to just remove this and see TCP, maybe if I include some, some file or library, something like that. Maybe then. Even I don't know. So actually, in order to have the struct, okay, similar to this. My C is rusty. Is that supposed to be a sarcasm or a reference to word C? Mr. Blastodum, my C is rusty. I think not. I'm just kidding. Hello, what's up? Uh, so, Hello, what's up, everyone? Okay, okay. Yes, it's a field name. It's basically a field name when you give it over here in C for some reason. It just initializes the struct with that C name, particular C name. Hello, plus R27. Wallpaper. I think we all know who this is. I think we all know who this is. I'm guessing you guys know. You guys have to know. It's the OG. Yes. Basically, this wallpaper I found from one of the GitHub repos, which I got from Reddit. Oh, I forget the name of the father and his friend. I think this is Grisha, and this was Owl. I remember, I don't exactly remember the exact name, but he was referenced as Owl. Yes. Not mine. I think I don't exactly know where this repo was. Yes, it's Hyperland. It is basically Hyperland, and I'm using Hyperland. Yes, it's Arch Linux. So I'm using Hyperland as my desktop manager and Arch Linux with it on top of Arch Linux. You guys should check out this Never Touched Pure Arch. It's good. It's good. It's in my opinion, it's a good experience. I think you get to customize your own way, install everything uh from zero. I've not heard of Garuda. Garuda, is that correct pronunciation? Okay, seems nice. So Void Linux. Ah, nice. Simplistic. Dude, you use Linux? Oh, sorry, Windows? I think Linux has a really great support of games now. Yep, we have some Dota boys over here. Dota 2 attitude. Your name has Dota 2. How can you have a name and not play the game itself? It's a legendary game. Team Deck uses Linux. Arch Linux, by the way. You guys have heard. Definitely, definitely. World of Warcraft and yeah. Check out this repo for all kinds of wallpapers. Very heavy repo. It has some great wallpapers. Dota is an addiction. Dota 2 will always be an addiction. Where it catch you as repos to my nice. Not much about Pepsi. I mostly invest in currently just looking into a little bit of crypto, maybe sometimes. I invested like 3 to 4 days back. I had an amount of like $35, and they multiplied in the matter of 3 days, around 45 now. Pepsi stock. We can look open trading view and see maybe 19191919. Hmm. Okay, getting back to this, maybe How do I print this particular int value over here? Hello, QJ. How are you? Which one? You talking about the terminal? This is NeoVim. No problem. Hmm. Yes, I can consider, but I don't know too much about the mods and chats, and I'm still exploring Twitch. I'm just very new to this platform, so maybe hopefully in the coming days, let's see. I'm hoping not too many people come with the curses. Which programming languages do you know? I mainly work with, I've made most of my experience is with Node.js as in backend development, but I have been using Go for a lot of my projects in recently, and now I am exploring a little bit going towards more low level side, and I'm exploring C. It's a beautiful language. I have completely shifted my all kinds of development towards Go. I just don't like Node.js anymore. I used to be a fanboy of Node.js, used to defend it like it's single threaded and everything, but I just love Go now for backend development mainly. Yes, that's a good that's some good stacks, both of you. Who defends Node.js? There are people, bro. There are people who defends Node.js. We have. I hope if anyone is here, I hope you don't take the offense, but it's just that it's not defendable anymore. I've tried a lot. Bun and Nano are arguably better, but they still need to have some time. I think it. there is some time they need to mature more in the industry. People defend Node.js saying that it has to be one of the best solutions to, develop MVPs. Bro, literally, it's just as easy to develop any kind of MVP in Go also. Yes, one is written in Zig. Zig itself is a very good language. I have heard some positive reviews about it. I've never explored, but I have heard some positive reviews about it. Hmm, Zig, not really. I think C and C++ are still in the game, and I don't think they're anywhere near to be replaced. But Go is a language which is kind of very similar to C, and it has like I'm writing C right now, and I feel there is a lot of similarity to Go, and obviously, but it's a kind of a GC collected language, so there you don't have kind of manual memory management and all of that. That's why I think it's not entirely a replacement of C, but at some level, when you want to develop some high level applications, you can consider Go. It has very good performance. For C++, I cannot say anything about C++. I have developed initially in my university time some applications with C++, but C++ now, I don't know. Rust is a very great language. Rust is being used in a lot of places. I think some modules are being developed in Rust for Linux kernels somewhere. I've heard something like that. Some places. Let's see in the future. Unsigned stores of whole number. Okay. I am trying to actually print this particular value which I have set, which is unint 16. I'm trying to print it out over here with this, but it's not printing a pretext. It's giving me 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this is giving me, okay, so this is giving me this part, not the whole part, right? I want this whole part. I need to see if it's correctly working. I do this, sorry. Yes, union dot TCP header dot destination code, which I've just tried to set over here. I want to see. PM. Sequential num. No, but I am try I am trying to. I have set header as the packer header T, the union which I have over here, and then I'm setting the value of its inside struct, which is TCP header, and its SRC port to 0x1234, whatever the unsigned integer I have over here. Now I want to print it out if it's correctly placed or not. Move on with the. Oh, yes, you're correct. You're correct. Union holds only one at some time. Yeah. Okay. Either it will be a struct of TCP header or it will be an integer raw array. One thing you need to see, to make use of word error field able to assuming 32-bit integer. Hit payload item. I am Zed. How are you doing? Okay, we're on the stack. The stack. Remember, I told you memory is basically just a giant array of bytes with addresses at various offset. That's true, but also has some additional. Particular memory is divided into two main regions: the stack and the heap. We'll cover the heap later. Second here, function. Stack frame is created. Okay, store the function's parameters. Once its entire stack frame is DLFed. C looks complicated, Python is easier, right? We're actually trying to uh, learn some more lower level concepts. I don't think you get to learn that in Python. You're too busy with the with just writing English. No, no, not assembly stuff, but a little bit more about uh, how memory works, how stack and heap, manual memory management, and all of that. Computer architecture before. I think in my bachelor's program, if I remember correctly. Yes, in my bachelor's program. Yes, it is one of the best languages if you want to take or understand some core concepts of memory. Hmm. Do you wipe code? It's fine. I think 30 minutes is good enough time. It takes me 30 minutes to write a simple function. It's just programming. You just get better with repetition, with practice. Do you have an idea what happens when you call foo given void foo? I don't, but I think judging by the looks of it, the void function means that it's not going to return anything. So it's going to recursively call itself in an endless loop, maybe. And the stack is going to just be blasted. No, no idea. Yes, because you're recursively calling an infinite loop, so it's potentially going to just overflow your stack. Yes, I use Arch Linux, by the way. Yep. Last in, first out. Yes, it's good. The next mint is also good. A lot of people have it's had a lot of traction in the past few years. We initialize an array with sentence like hmm, I don't think so. Printf size of, yes, you have to specify a size for this. Not going to let you go ahead. Not letting me go ahead for some reason. Okay. My God, I am having flashbacks from JavaScript. Yes. It automatically sets the array with to the size to. Stack pointer offset 0 point. Dark mode stack pointer offset 32 bytes. More like stack pointer offset 64 byte dark roast. Track pointer difference. Name address. Last SP, current SP. And message to. Yeah, I'm gonna set up some kind of ad blocker for this after I end this stream today. Maybe I don't want to just. I'm gonna set up some kind of ad blocker. I think it's much needed. Yes, an FZF for an MVP for running the music. Thanks, Postronic. JavaScript has a lot of strange behavior. Like the var keyword, if you use it in a for loop, it's going to, just you're gonna be surprised with the output. Not even going to iterate over it. Yes, I am using Zen. Thank you very much. 23 underscore white. Zen is good. I really like it. It just separates out your workspaces and everything. I wanted to stick with Firefox. I use the control tab functionality that Firefox has, which lets you cycle through your last few steps. For example, if I have my last few tabs, I can just do this with control tab, and I just really like it. And I tried to have this in Chrome, but no, you have to use some kind of external configuration for this, or maybe a tool. Seems nice. Is how okay. Where print to match and print a call from. Dude, MS Edge, Microsoft Edge. I think Windows users use it. Yes. No, MS Edge, if you use it on Windows, it's not a bad browser to use. They really upped the game when they integrated the, I think, GPT or Gemini. What's the, I think they did this initially, very start. They really upped the game at that time, MSH. Back when I still had some toxic exposure of Windows. I'm glad I don't have anymore. I don't even use Windows for streaming or anything like that. Firefox is good. It's good. It's a private browser. Not so much, but still better than the others, I guess. Possible because the stack is faster and be patient. Okay. Stack allocation is just a quick increment or decrement of the stack pointer which is extremely fast. Allocation requires more complex bookkeeping. Cache friendly memory access stack memory. Okay. One reason Go programs are efficient is that Go uses stack allocation for variables when possible. Stack allocation for variables when possible, much like C. The Go compiler performs escape analysis, decide whether a variable can be allocated on the stack. Okay. On the other hand, languages like Python allocate most objects on the heap, which can impact performance. Okay. Delete on overflow. That's what the famous site is named after, Stack Overflow. That's one of the main reasons recursion without a tail call optimization can be dangerous. Each recursive call pushes a new frame onto the stack, and if you have too many recursive stack space, very inefficient. Hmm. Know about the stack is another thing to know about the stack is that one should not return pointers to local variables from functions. Not return pointers to local variables from functions. Okay. So we know that stack frames are always getting pushed inward and reserved memory address in the stack are always changing and getting reused. Stack is only safe to use within the context of the current function. Within the context of the current function. Here it is. Remember the stack is only safe to use within the context of the current function. Let's get back to simply you should not do this. Improve int var 10 return var. Right. Hmm. Variables declared with static keyword inside function scope are not stored in the stack, so it is safe to return pointers to them. Makes sense. Yes. It accepts x and y, creates a new pointer to stack or allocated chord T. Struct. ELF binary format. What is this supposed to be? The binary format, executable linkable format. No problem. VLAN conflicting types for new code. God, I'll look into it. ELF. Hmm. It does. Conflicting types for new code. I have a function for this called, okay, that's why it's giving me error, I think. Address associated with local variable C return. So I think this is the point where you were saying that returning a local variable to a pointer is unsafe to stack. Hmm. created on the function that we no longer safe to use. Goes to the next one, it is deallocates it, and it goes to the next one again, and then it does so. Yes. Hmm. Correctly prints us out. So what we did is we basically fix it was returning uh the pointer, the local pointer which we were getting in here was returning this, and because of that it would call the first call, and because it already has the stack already has the second call, it would just deallocate that particular pointer and just use this particular pointer, and at the next call the stack was already popped with another one, so it would deallocate this one's pointer c2 also, and just would just print the last value also. So instead of returning a pointer, we are returning the struct itself. So it just it says over here, this will force the compiler to copy the struct to the mains function stack frame, and the memory will be safe to use. Similarly, so yeah. Uh, did someone mentioned oop? I just hate oop. I just don't like oop. We're on to heap, I think. They are forcing me to write transcript. Yep, TJ. This course was designed by TJ. See you, Postronic. I think I will also be going for lunch at this time, and let's see. Maybe we'll be continuing later. It was nice having a chat with you guys. It was a good session. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for staying connected. See you soon.